say I'm late. I'm late for my Monday Night Live. Please forgive me. Oh no, and my battery's low. Oh dear. All right, it's just gonna have to be a real speedy one. So welcome to you if you're watching me on YouTube or if you're watching me on Facebook. Hello. Good evening. I'm so sorry to be late. It's been one of them days. I've been up since really early o'clock and I've just been working right the way through the day. It's been a glorious day. I honestly love my work and my clients. But I looked up and then it's like 10 past 8. So I'm really sorry to be late for my one Monday Night Live. As you're watching, you know the drill by now. Please say hi to me in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, whether you're watching on Facebook or watching on YouTube. I'm so excited about tonight. I mean, I just don't have very much time to spend with you, but this messing is pressing. It's really I just want to share this message with you. So we're talking tonight about the 3 shifts. And so as you're joining, say hi, let me know that you're watching, that I'm not talking to myself. Even if you're watching on the replay, please go ahead and say hi, let me know where you're watching from. And I'll come back and read your comments later on. All right, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Dion Johnson, and I am also known as a womanologist. I am the author of this brilliant book, and that's not my words, but I've been receiving, in fact, every day, almost every day, from somebody around the world. I get a message saying how they're enjoying my book or that they've read it and it's changed their life and their leadership or it's touched them in some very powerful way. So I'm really proud of my book, Influential Woman. And if you haven't picked it up already, then please grab yourself a copy and be sure to let me know what your big takeaways are. I love hearing from people who are reading the book. So yeah, I'm the author of the book, and I'm also a strategic ally to some brilliant women who I'm lucky enough to call my private clients. So my clients are women in positions of power. That means that they're either CEOs, they're directors, they're heads, they're strategic leads in their organization, and they are positioned to really make a powerful difference in our world through their work as leaders. And my work with them is all about helping them to develop a real strong and meaningful and deep personal sense of their own personal power to make a difference and to influence and to lead change that really matters to them. And we talk about and develop their sense of authority and their sense of confidence to really show up, speak up, and I like to say, shake things the hell up in their realm, in their positions, in their roles. So that's me. That's what I do. I'd love to see you say hi to me in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. And yeah, say hi to me. Let me know that you can hear me okay. Right. So tonight's going to be a real quick message because I'm really hungry and tired. But I wanted to not put it off. I wanted to come along and just share these ideas with you. I've labeled this talk the 3 shifts. And that's because I really have a strong conviction that it is time for us to, as women, leaders and change makers, to shift our leadership. In the book, I write and I share that in 2013, time of real soul searching and prayer, I received a download. I say a divine download, and it basically said that I was to prepare to ascend to a whole new dimension of leadership, a whole new dimension of influence, that something was going to happen and that it was going to be the time for women to really step up and that I should get myself ready. And it was such a powerful download when I received that. I just knew that, that this wasn't something that I should ignore. So I went about, really focusing my attention on on my strategic allyship and coaching women in senior leadership. I got new coaches. I started really practicing going live on videos, creating courses, working with my private clients, really doing what this download instructed me to do to prepare myself to ascend to a whole new height of influence. And I really thought it was my own word. But the more the words started to unpack, and the more I started to really delve into what this was really saying to me, I realized that it wasn't just my word, it was a word for us women who occupy powerful positions, us women who sit at tables where important decisions are being made about industry, where culture is being shaped, or where policies are being set, where the way forward is being discussed. And it's really, I didn't know when in 2013, when I got that message, that the pandemic was going to happen, right? But here we are in the wake of the pandemic. Some of us are getting ready to come out of lockdown. I know in the UK, restrictions are lifting gradually right now. And, a lot of the world has received the vaccine. And, we're really getting ready to try and create some kind of new normal. And so this word that I received back in 2013 just feels more poignant than ever, that it is time for us to prepare to ascend to a whole new dimension of influence. And so that's what these 3 shifts are about. And I was reminded of this, prompted to share this message, because I've been having lots of different conversations with my private clients and also prospects, people who are thinking about coming to work with me. And the conversations that I'm having are reminding me of just how much we need to be mindful and active and intentional about these shifts. So last Monday on my Monday Night Live, I spoke to you about professional pain, and I spoke to you about the fact that some of us are although in senior leadership, some of us are experiencing, imposter thoughts, power struggles, all kinds of professional dis-ease. And because we're experiencing that, some of us are deciding not to speak up, deciding not to, just trying to find a little comfortable spot, carving out our comfort zone, just like I did when I was a director in local government, just carving out our little comfort zone and just staying within it. We're just choosing not to rock any boats. I'm hearing clients and prospects tell me they say things like, well, this is what I think, but nobody else around here thinks like me. So I'm finding it difficult to speak up. They're saying things like, I don't see anyone else saying this. They don't do things like me. That's not the culture around here. They don't care. I know that I've been speaking to a couple of women just even in this last week who say that things aren't going well in her area, but she thinks that people just don't care about making things better. I've heard people say things like they don't see things like I do, and that my ideas aren't welcome here, like nobody else thinks like me. They don't seem to be really putting their money where their mouth is in terms of achieving the mission. So this is stuff that I'm hearing people talk about a lot. I'm hearing people say that my ideas aren't like the norm. My ideas aren't what other people think. And so as a result of that, I've seen people leave. I've seen walk away from their position because they just can't take it anymore. I've seen this highly in education. I've seen it highly in the banking world. I've seen it highly in the charity space, where people just leave because they don't think they fit in. They're not a cultural fit, or they're disgruntled about the way things are and they want things to be different, but people don't seem to be wanting what they want. They toe the line. They give up. They give up. That's what I did when it was me. and I see my ideas didn't seem to fit in at all, what I did was I kind of just carved out this little comfort zone for myself. I showed up every day. I did just enough to not get fired. I nodded, I spoke, I smiled, I clapped in the right places, just to fit in and blend in. And I just gave up on my highfalutin ideas about how things could be better. I gave up on my high-minded ideas about what needed to happen to really serve my vulnerable client group, to really shift the needle on inequality, and to really make things different. I kind of just gave up my idea. Maybe you can identify. Some of the people that I've been talking to this week are just explaining this losing your voice, stress around speaking up, stress around going against the grain. So what I thought is, if you identify with anything that I'm saying, what I thought is I'd share with you these 3 shifts that I think are fundamental right now for us as senior leaders to be thinking about making. We really need to be shifting in these 3. And so the first way that I'm going to share with you tonight that we need to be shifting is we need to be shifting from asking for permission to asserting your position. I'll say it again. We need to shift from asking for permission to asserting our position. And what I mean by that is that that there's a sound that I hear some of us making. And it's a sound that says, well, this is not the way it's done around here. So they're not going to let me do that. They're not going to let me say that. They're not going to let me assert my thoughts. They're not going to let me have my way because that's not the way that they do things. And I get it. I'm wondering if I can give an example about how this is showing up. So I have a client right now who is really, she has a strong viewpoint about something that's going wrong in her organization. And so she's bringing this regularly to the board. But the board aren't really interested in listening to what she's got to say. And so she's working with me, and we find out that she's just stopped talking because she said that they don't open the door. They say that they want to hear what she's got to say, but they don't follow through. So she's just given up. They won't let her in her mind, they won't let me speak on this. They won't let me. So I explained to her, and I'm explaining to all of us who are feeling this sense of they won't let me, they won't give me permission to do what I want to do, to say what I want to say, to act how I want to act, to lead how I want to lead. I want you to understand that we need to make the shift from seeking their permission to asserting our position. And this can be in really simple ways. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to get into a fight with this, but it's about identifying, clarifying your position and saying it anyway, bringing it anyway, speaking your truth anyway. If they're not listening, if they tell you to shut up, then finding other ways to speak it. So I have clients who are writing books. I have clients who are setting up a blog. I have clients who are developing their own forum where they get to speak their truth, and they're not asking for permission, that they have made the shift from being silenced by people who won't give them permission to speak, to deciding that I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to talk about what needs to happen in my view. And if you won't let me do it in this meeting, I'll find another way to do it. So we need to shift from seeking permission to asserting our position. The second shift that we need to make is we need to make an identity shift. And we need to go from what I'm saying today, imposter. We need to go from imposter in our thinking, imposter syndrome, imposter feelings, imposter phenomena, imposter thoughts are really prevalent in our high-level leadership. And what I'm suggesting is that we need to make a shift from that we're going to get found out, that we're not as good as they think we are, that not as good as like they think I am, that I'm lucky to be here and I got here by accident, and anytime now they're going to find out that I don't really know what I'm talking about and I don't really know that I belong here. Like that kind of identity self-perception has to be shifted in this day. There is no room, there's no time for us to be thinking like that. The truth is that you occupy a position of power. The truth is that that position that you hold is yours now. It's yours, and that being there gives you access to certain conversations. It gives you access to intelligence. It gives you access to making a difference. And so we need to shift from feeling like an imposter to knowing that we are influencers. That if they don't get it, if they don't understand, if they don't, if I am in that position, then it's my role to help people to learn, think new things. If I'm in that position, it's my role to influence, to have an impact on people's thinking, to have an impact on people's behaviors, to have an impact on what's happening around here, to have an impact on what we're going to be doing. Which leads me on to shift number 3 that I think that we need to be making. And in shift number 3, this is really all about shifting from managerial mindset to leader mindset. That we need to shift from feeling like a manager. There's a difference between management and leadership. And although some of us are in positions of leadership, we're directors, we're CEOs, we're heads of department, we're in senior leadership positions, but the culture of the way that the things work in that organization is that even as senior leaders, we're behaving more like managers. So let me explain what I mean. So management is about managing. It's about making sure that things happen in a certain way, in a certain time frame, in a certain budget restraint. It's about protecting the way the way things are. It's about keeping things the same. That management is about keeping things trundling along, not stopping, not breaking down, not failing, but to keep things ticking over. So management is really about keeping things the same. But leadership is about something else. Leadership is about charting the course, is about speaking about where we're going, it's about the vision, it's about envisioning where we're headed and what we want to accomplish and what's next. It's about and finding out and charting the course, seeing the future and sharing that vision to the industry. This is leadership. And so what I'm suggesting is that we really have to now begin to take a shift. In this season, it's never been more important for us as women in senior leadership to actually lead, to actually go from management style of thinking, how we're going to keep things ticking over, how we're going to keep things the same, to the leadership way of thinking, which is where are we going? What needs to change? What needs to start? What are we innovating? What are we aiming for? Where are we headed? What's new? What new direction? What do we need to bring that's new? What do we need to create that's new? What do we need to where are we going? Where are we going? There has never been a more important time for leaders who are occupying their position and making the shift. So often it's so easy, isn't it, as women in senior leadership, to just stay the same, just try to keep our heads down, keep doing what we need to do to just not rock any boats, to keep doing what we need to do to kind of just get through the day, get through the week. But we can't do that anymore. We've got a real shot, new ways, new direction. People are depending on us to lead them in the way that we should go. And so if we're going to be successful at that, if we're going to be effective at that, we need to begin to make these 3 shifts. We need to shift from seeking permission, being timid about doing things that haven't been done before or aren't usual in the way that the place works. Stop asking people to give us permission and start asserting our position. And the second one is moving from imposter feelings and imposter thoughts, thinking like you don't belong there. You are there, and it's time for you to put your big girl pants on and realize that it's time for you to shift in your thinking about who you are to that organization. You're not an imposter there. You are an influencer there. That you have intelligence, ideas, and insights that can really impact the way that the organization goes. And so you need to shift from imposter to influencer. And the next thing that I really want you to shift is your mindset from managerial to leadership. 3 shifts for you to think about this week and this month. I'll be back next week. I can't see any comments. Tell me which one's jumping out at you. Tell me which one is going to be the most challenging. Tell me which one you're already starting to feel yourself shifting in. Let me know what you're thinking as you watch this video. And I'll come back and I'll see your comments a bit later after I've had something to eat. But that's what I wanted to share with you. It is time to shift. It is time to shift. And here are 3 powerful shifts that I'm encouraging you and imploring you to start making right now. And I'll see you next week. Bye.